Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shahe, and with me, my friend is Adil Shehzad. We are heading to present the fresh properties of normal concrete. Okay. Let's talk about the fresh and hardened properties of concrete. First of all, we will talk about the fresh properties of concrete. In the fresh properties of concrete, we have three categories is coming. One is workability, segregation, and bleeding. Okay. What are the tests to be conducted for the fresh properties of concrete? I will let you know for the workability, we have four type of test. Okay. First one is slump cone test, compaction vector test, VB constometer test, flow table test. For the hardened properties of concrete, when concrete gain its enough strength, okay, so it goes to a certain test, okay. So these tests we are known as the compressive strength, flexural strength, Young modulus, okay. For the test for hardened property of concrete, we have compression test, flexural test, stress strain relationship, okay. Workability, the main topic in our field is coming is workability. Workability is the one of the physical parameters of concrete, which affect the strength and durability, as well as the cost of labor and appearance of the finished concrete. Workability, we can say the ease of flow of concrete is also known as workability. Concrete is said to be workable when it is easy placed and compacted homogeneously without bleeding or segregation. I will let you know some of the factors coming in workability. We have 6 or 7 factors which are coming in our workability. The first one is water content, mix proportions, size of aggregations, shape of aggregates, surface texture of aggregate, grading of admixtures, use of admixtures, chemical, mineral admixture. First of all, I will talk about water content. There is certain limitation for the concrete, that there is a certain limitation that we having this much water content is allowed, okay, for this class of concrete. In mixed proportion we means here the proportion of sand, cement, aggregate, okay. Size of aggregate depend on size of aggregate is also the main factor in a concrete. Okay, shape of aggregate, there is also certain limitation for the shape of aggregate. Surface texture of aggregate, there is also one of factor. Okay, grading of admixture, we also know it about BS. Okay, in a BS we are always talking about the grading. Okay, fine. The grading of admixtures, which is most important in the fresh properties of concrete. Use up admixtures, we're also using the use up admixture. Either we need, let's suppose the weather is hot or cold, so we will do a treatment according to a weather condition. Okay, there are certain type of admixtures which are using. Okay, what are the things to be we need to take care, okay, for the during concreting, okay, during the fresh properties of concrete. Okay, first of all, segregation and bleeding. Bleeding is generally occur due to higher water content ratio. As I also told in the very start, okay, it is a certain ratio for the water content in the concrete. If it is exceed, then our limitation, the bleeding will come. Okay, so it is also defined as some of the water is coming out to the surface of concrete is also called bleeding. Okay, then it's coming segregation. These are the most important topics we are going to discuss. Okay, segregation is when we are going to concrete. Okay, so aggregate and cement base are separated due to high water cement ratio or poor mixture proportion are called segregation. When we are doing to pour the concrete, okay, we have to take care the height of concrete. The height of concrete should not be greater than 1.2 or 1.5 meter. If it is coming, if we are going to pour the concrete from height which is more than 1.5 meters, so the segregation will come. Okay, so it is also seriously factor affecting the quality of concrete. Okay, Segregation and bleeding, okay, is I also discussed about the bleeding. There is certain limitation for the water content. Let's suppose if we will go for the higher content, so the bleeding will come. Okay, when the bleeding will come, so it will not attain the certain durability. Okay, due to bleeding, segregation, concrete loses its homogeneity. Yes, you know the our concrete is homogeneous. Okay, so it will lose its homogeneity. Bleeding or segregation is responsible for the causing permeability in concrete. Okay, the strength of concrete will be reduced. Let's suppose there's a bleeding or the segregation, so the strength which we require for the certain class of concrete, it will not achieve. It will reduce. Okay, due to the factor which is segregation and bleeding. So we need to take care during the casting of concrete. Okay, reduce the bonding between the reinforcement and concrete. Okay, this is the main point. Let's suppose there is more bleeding, okay, and there is more segregation. So the bonding which has been made for the certain concrete, okay, so it will not achieve. Okay, in the front construction, bleeding water delays surface finishing and duplication of curing compound. Okay, they test for workability of concrete. Okay, the test of workability of concrete, how to test it. Okay, we have four type of manual tests, but normally being a civil site engineer, okay, or being a practically site engineer, we are doing slum test at site. Okay, normally for the fresh graduate or the for the fresh comer, when they came to site, they don't know about the methodology. They being a civil site engineer, what I need to be checked at site. Okay, when the concrete reach to site, first of all we need to check the temperature of the mixer. Okay, before going to check the temperature mixer, we need to check what is the class of the concrete and what is the structure which we are going to do the concrete. Okay, because the class of the concrete is very important for the structure. Okay, because for the substructure and superstructure, there are different class defines in our course. Okay, so when the concrete, as I told you, that when the concrete reach to site, okay, so have to we have to check the plus of the concrete. We have to take the temperature. We have to take the slump cone test at site, okay, and we need to check what is the required slump for this class of the concrete. So we have to check, okay. So this is the main factor. Fiction, convection factor test, specific in syllabus, maybe stometers is flow to table, slump cone test. Okay, this is the typical shape of the slump cone. Okay, we have the tamping rod at side, we have the slump cone. Okay, when the concrete reach to site, okay, so we have goes to the slump test procedure. What is the slump test procedure? I'm going to explain you. This is the slump cone procedure. The cone is placed in smooth surface base plate, and the cone is filled with concrete in three layers. Okay, we are having the cone, okay, and we will fill the cone within three layers. Each layer will be 25 time, okay, tempered by rod, okay, which having dye 16 mm. Okay, when the cone is completely filled with concrete, the top surface is leveled by using towel. The mold should be firmly held its base during the entire test. After proper filling of concrete in cone, the cone is slowly lifted to vertical direction, and then the concrete settles down its curved slump. The slump value is measured from the top. Okay, the settlement of concrete is categorized into three types. You know, we have in the slum scheme, we have three types of slum: true slum, shear slum, and collapse. Okay, what is the true slum? Okay, how we can define the true slum, shear slum, and collapse slum? We have a practical experience, so we must know about it. Okay, for the true slum, in this type of slum, the concrete is settled less from the top, and there is no any segregation on its shape and indicates lower capability. For the shear slump, in shear slump, the top portion of the concrete shears off and slips side. With this kind of shear slump of concrete is clearly indicating the lack of cohesion of the concrete mix. Collapse slump. Collapse slump, in this type of slump, the concrete is completely collapsed due to high water cement of the mix. The collapse indicated the higher fluidity of mix and instability of the mix, which cannot be used in any kind of improvement structure. This is the main point at side when you are going to take the slump. So we have three type of slump. Okay, so when it's come to side, so we have to check either in what categories our slump came in. Either it's came in true slump, shear slump, or collapse slump. Okay, okay, these are the shapes, typical shape. Okay, for the slump, and we are lift, we having the cone, we lifted it up. Okay, we are measuring. These are the, if you see the table here, for the road construction, there's different type of slump. It's 20 to 40 mm. For concrete, for top curve, there is different type of slump ratio for the different type of structure. As I told you before, the slump is depend on the importance of the structure. Okay, either it is the substructure or the superstructure. The substructure means it is underneath soil. Okay, superstructure is mean above the soil. Okay. So these are the different slums, but these slums depend on the project specification required and the area. Okay. It- I mentioned the slum ratio might be someone will not agree because different area have different certain limitation according to environment and specification required. Compaction factor test. Okay, these are the compaction factor test. Okay, we have 250 mm die, upper hopper, lower hopper contain a 150 mm die and 300 mm height. These are also doing lab. These are the procedure. Compaction factor test. Compaction factor is also called the degree of compaction. First, the concrete is placed gently in the upper hopper without any compaction. The bottom door of the upper hopper is then released and the concrete falls into lower hopper. The bottom door of the lower hopper is also released and the concrete falls into cylinder container. Excess concrete is then removed from the cylinder. Now this partially compacted concrete weight is measured. Then the fresh concrete is compacted by three layer and cylinder is weighted. Is called fully compacted concrete. Usually the compaction factor is very 0.7 to 1. Okay. Compaction factor, these are the compaction factor which is required for the workability. These are the different type of workability. Okay, let's come down. Okay, thank you. I think I have also been completed my lecture. Okay, so I will let you know some of important things which you need to base at site when you are going to site being a civil site engineer. When you are civil site engineer, fine, you are dealing with concrete at site. What are the main factors we need to be in the concentration? First of all, when concrete reach to site, we have to check the class of the concrete. What is the class of the concrete? Okay. The second thing, we have to check how much the quantity of the concrete which need will pour. Okay, because different area have different frequency required for to take the cube. Okay, to find out its strength. Okay. Second, we need to, first of all, when the current transit mixer came to site, we have to take the temperature. After temperature, we have to take the slump. Then after we have to take 6 cubes, 3 for 7 days, 3 for 28 days. When we having the quantities exceeding 30 meter cube, for the 30 meter cube, we will take 6 cube. Okay. If it is exceeding from 30 cubic meter, so we will have another 6 cube just to check their strength and durability and workability. Okay. What I'm saying, it's not hard and fast. Maybe it will different in different area. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for time. Let me stop.